Well, howdy, rascal.
Ah, get the chipmunk off the damn screen. Look, no, you can't because there's still the chipmunk. Oh, there it is, yes. Yes, it's the dream catcher of Optimal Grip. All right, special thanks to the Shadow Cabal of production executives that make this all possible. I'm getting the fuck off a Patreon. Please contact me if you'd like to make other arrangements. Hello and welcome. This is a very special episode. Eve, a cow. Okay, and then I show you the thumbnail I uploaded. Yes, this is the communitas stream. Once upon a time, Mark Lefebvre said, "Hey, I want to be on your channel, man. I'll tell people about communities." I was like, "Oh, well. By the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, in order for us to seize the crown of brotherhood, we have to do shit like that." So, ladies and gentlemen, today, the very special community task stream, round 2, Grim Lefebvre, which is apparently Lefebvre. The B is silent, and it's been like 2 years, and no one bothered to make that clear to me. Step on through the Lobster Monkey Zodiac portal as we journey into this sort of thing. Wait, no, what have you done? What have you done? Yes, you're sharing it, but it's not on the screen. Why? Okay, you have to click add to stream. That's the one.
Welcome to Navigating Patterns. I'm your host, Mark Lefebvre, and this is my channel. What I'm trying to do is to help you.
But it's not. See, look, we're being boarded. Our ship is being boarded by an enemy pirate. Look here.
The way Neoplatonism, or at least alleged Neoplatonism, seems to talk about these things is in terms of something that you yourself can do as a state that you can acquire through practice. Okay? And I think the Christian story is that godliness or godhood or oneness with God or whatever is something that you acquire through participation.
And so you're going to be needing your savings throws today, ladies and gentlemen. And okay, for those of you who know what's going on, you have news that we have received an Indigo Beholder die, which is an option for those of you who are, if you have a role on the Discord that's called the Resonant, you can use an Indigo instead of the standard choices of survival, social, wisdom, or heart. That activates the Beholder. If you're deep enough, you know. Otherwise, choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. And I know it's all confusing. So here with me special today to help you navigate that confusion is Mark Lefebvre of Navigating Patterns. Mark, please explain to the folks how the savings throws work. And before I say the word choose, and I'll make the rolls.
Okay, well, you're supposed to pick one of the categories that you outlined, and then you're going to roll the dice. And it's high numbers are good, low numbers are bad, and that's your protection against the mind control.
Excellent work. Now, survival, social, wisdom, heart. Behold, choose. Survivalists with an 8. Socialists, not 1. Bonuses do not apply. Wisdom, folks. Not one. Bonuses do not apply. Hard, folks. With a 9. For the beholder, folks, you know where to get the die roll result. Now, let the boarding party thing happen. We're under attack, folks. We have 43 comments to catch up on. Mark, you said we're going to do a stream about community. I assume you can speak for some time on the topic. Oh, I like the beholder behind you. Why don't you talk about community and make your presentation, and I'll go through the comments while that happens.
That sounds fine, Grim. Yeah. Yeah, I think community is a big topic, especially right now. It's one of the things that John Vervaeke sort of talked about, but never really gave any direction as to, right? He'd say things like, oh, communitas, right? Which is this clever way of saying community for some reason. And a lot of people talk about community as something being emergent from below that you can just sort of create, or it'll just happen, or whatever. And I don't think that's the best way to think about these things. Communities need to have a goal, right? A telos, a reasoning behind them and a reason for them in order to form. And so you might think of something like the community of people who likes to work on their muscle cars, right? Like there are communities out there like that. There's not one community, right? There's little communities. And we haven't been paying attention as to what a community is and what it means and how to deal with it, because we just keep labeling things as communities. So, for example, I recently bought a garden cart that dumps, so you can load it up with a bunch of, in my case, sand and clay, which is what I need for my driveway, and you can dump it out, and it's wonderful. And in the instructions, it actually says, join our community. And I'm like, there isn't a community of people who own Gorilla Carts, which is the manufacturer name. That's not a way to build a community. It won't work because people who have garden carts use them for different purposes. I'm using mine to haul, sand and clay. Other people are using them to haul
garden.
Right?
What did we just do a commercial of, Mark? A garden what?
A garden cart.
Garden heart.
Cart. It's
cart. I'm sorry.
A wagon. It's a wagon with wheels. But it's
what brand was it?
Really good.
Where can people who want to be like Mark, like what brand should they purchase? Garden cart.
Gorilla Cart makes the best one. The one I got was 7 cubic feet, I believe, and I got it at Home Depot. It was great.
All right.
Put it together, it doesn't take long, and then you've got an awesome cart that fully dumps. It's fantastic. Big wheels. It's a wonderful thing. Wonderful.
I'm gonna have to do this. The echo cancellation is interrupting my interruptions.
Uh-oh. Echo, not good. Control your echo. Always control your echo.
I just remember, Embody, I do it this way so people know that competent people could do a really good job of it, and then I can do something else. Okay. Hopefully it didn't change microphones, because when it does that, it's terrible for everybody. Hey, Rascal, what's up? Did you know you can get a Rascal baseball sleeve shirt, Mark?
I did not know that. I had no idea.
And this guy here, Howdy Rascal, is on a shirt. And it should be in the link of the last stream, if not this one. So, but now, community. Oh, no, that's not going to do it all. Come here. There, that's better. Well, technically, propellers is in the comments. So, well, if you had to sum up what you wanted to convey to the audience, or the hive mind, or whatever, about community in that those things you were saying while I was reading the comments, how would you summarize that?
I would say that a proper community has to be built around a shared goal or telos, right? A shared aim that they have in common, that they want to enact. And the people in that community have to be submitted to that aim above all else. Otherwise, they won't have something that they can cooperate with together.
Would you say a religious dedication of commitment to that aim?
I wouldn't use the word religious because I try to avoid it, but some people might cast it that way. It's not technically
Well,
grammatically
at
incorrect.
what level, like bound by oath, bound level?
No, I don't. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. Like people can
That's
just
what I'm
have an
asking. I'm
interesting
saying,
comment.
what is the precise level of commitment to
There
the
isn't.
aim, the shared
No.
aim required to maintain?
Yeah, there isn't a precise level of commitment because you can't measure commitment. Yeah, I, I can't hear you now. You're not coming through. Did you mute your mic somehow? I don't know what any of that was, but you were talking for sure. Look, I don't think there's a level of commitment.
Now, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So there's not a precise level of commitment to the shared aim of the community that must be maintained in order for the community to maintain integrity. What determines the range of the non-precise value?
Look, I mean, you're trying to measure something that can't be measured, and also I think,
No, I'm trying to
hold on,
grok of
but
the boundaries of a Venn,
okay,
not measure a thing that can't be measured.
well, that's fine, but there's no Venn diagram for community. But
Well,
look,
let's draw one, mother.
Well, hold on. Let's look at it from two perspectives, right? So there's and this is where people get confused. There's two perspectives. There's a perspective of maintaining the community, okay? But there's a perspective of building the community, right? Which is one person. So for example, if you go to meetings every week around the topic of your community, so here in Columbia, South Carolina, there's a lovely entrepreneur-run entrepreneur community of business folks who are in all kinds of different.
So part of your algorithm is like layer one, like after right number 3, you slip into local anecdote mode. No.
There's no algorithm for this stuff. This is
but like you speak in patterns, and I'm trying to navigate them.
Okay, so again, the pattern is, let's look at this from a perspective of an existing community first. Okay, there's an existing community in Columbia of entrepreneurs that gets together. They're not in a certain business type. So there's entrepreneurs that are writing books. There's entrepreneurs.
There's that guy who wrote the Mastermind book, and all sorts of entrepreneurs got sold on the idea of doing mastermind groups. So those exist.
Well, but there's a group here in Columbia that's just business people. Some of them are opening restaurants. Some, right? They're all.
And our telos is to make each other more money. It's conspiracy, but they don't call it that.
That's not their telos. Their telos is to cooperate and network. And that's the thing. You have to submit to going there every Wednesday morning and meeting people if you want to be part of that community. And then there's other affordances from being part of that community. But the level of commitment that you need is submission to the aim. Like you have to be interested in being in that community.
Right. But my point is like for a community to actually maintain integrity, the submission to the aim has to be of men of a certain level of character. And the submission has to be not like you submit to the aim because you believe in the aim that much, not because I see the value. You can't have a disloyal commitment to the aim without damaging the integrity of the community.
No, I mean all communities have an amount of people that are damaging to them, and they accept that, or they throw those people out, and that happens. So in this particular community, for example, there is a rule that you are not there to sell anything. So you can't get in front of they have a microphone and stuff, and you get to talk, and you can't talk about selling product at this community. They will throw you out. Now there's a guy there who says, I have this great little product that he's been working on, right? And it actually is a wonderful little product. It's for video streaming and stuff like that, actually.
And he broke the rules and got kicked out?
No. He's not getting kicked out, but he is connecting and then saying, by the way, I'm wondering if in your industry you could see a place for this, right? Because he's looking for a place to sell into, which is slightly different from selling directly to people, and everybody tolerates him because it's fine. Now, almost nobody else that I've met there so far, and I haven't been doing this for very long, but
you'll always have actors that stretch the bounds of the behavior of the behavioral guidelines of the community.
Right, and the community.
The question is, at what level of tolerance? At what level of tolerance do you tolerate bad actors?
Each community is different.
Or hold on, there's bad actors, there's naive actors, and then there's just bad faith actors doing following the right move.
Sure. Well, and there's lots of other types of actors, but you can't know that in the moment. And this is where people get confused. They think that, oh, we can go back and revise history and say, well, we know this person was a bad actor based on all the things that happened. But A, that might be wrong to begin with. And B, you don't know that when it's unfolding. And so, that's hindsight bias, right? We often look back on things and think we know more about them or knew more about them at the time than we could actually have known. And that happens to people all the time. Different communities tolerate different things. So, for example,
we don't. That's so fucking obvious. You really don't need to give us an example of different communities.
It's just different for different communities. You can't. Different communities have different aspects to them, right? So the Discord.
Let's bring in the crowd. Let's bring in the crowd.
Did you read the dust up on the Discord server, on the Awakening server? That's a good example of intolerance.
This little corner probably won't get a Fed until PVK hits 50K. What do you think?
I don't think the Feds care two rats' asses about anything anybody's doing. But I just got a letter from the FBI too, actually. So there you go.
Speaking of which, I recall every now and then I'll pop in to see what's going on Jacob's channel when it's a stream. And I popped in for a minute, and at that minute, you jumped on and said something along the lines of, there are bad faith actors in this community spreading rumors and sowing blah, blah, or something. Yeah. I didn't bother to find the quote, but Would you go back over what you said and why you said it for me?
Sure. Well, and again, this gets back into the Awakening server, right? I mean, some people are out for destruction, and they don't care what they destroy. They just like the power because they are playing a power game. So it's not like.
And what prompted you to go on Jacob's stream and say that is my real question.
Well,
what event? What was the trigger event?
The trigger event was this idea that everybody was in it for the same reason, and that isn't true. Some of the people are part of.
What caused you to come to that realization and then be so moved as to jump on that stream?
Again, it was just Jacob's over tolerance of people and over forgiveness of bad behavior, and I was like, no, this is bad behavior because these people have bad intent, and it's clear. That's all. I just Our big problem in the world today is discernment. People are not discerning because they've spent so long trying not to judge that they've lost discernment. So now they can't tell if transsexual storytime hour is good or bad. So, that they can't tell. They literally can't tell, even though it should be kind of obvious. Conservatives themselves are not saying, wait a minute, this is wrong.
Wait a minute. I hear conservatives say all variety of things. Your sample size is too small. You don't know. Hi, Valerie. I don't know if you intended to, but you're now on the Grimgriz show with Mark Lefebvre and I on Community and Communitas.
Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I got Stephanie let me know that you guys were on. I'm like, oh, I want to listen in.
Oh, if you're just wanting to listen, I can drop you back down. I thought you might have something to object to that Mark said, because I often do.
Well, I'm just getting into hearing what you guys are talking about. So I'd love to participate, but I don't want to say my 2 cents without knowing what you guys are talking about. I'm like, I know you're talking about community, about things, discernment, and things that should be obvious that sometimes isn't obvious for some reason. And I can kind of sympathize with that. I'm like, I'm not sure why this is not obvious to you, but okay. Kind of thing. So I'll let you guys talk, and then if it's okay, I'll chime in.
If you want to chime in, mention so in the private chat, and I'll pull you back up.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I object to Mark as a sport. Pretty much. Apparently, you seem very reasonable.
Well, thank you. I try to be.
Now, where was I? You made an appearance on Jacob's channel and triggered apparently by things his naivety signaling he was doing.
Yes. Yeah, the assumption that everybody on BOM is there for the same reason and that they're all good actors and they all actually want to build community is just observably false. And some of them are bad actors.
Observably false. Now, I coming from where I come from, there's this notion we keep in mind, a heuristic, if you will.
Yeah.
That like the game we're playing, if I tell you I'm doing it to you, and then you still let me do it to you, I get more points than if I had just done it to you without telling you I had done it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people play games like that they don't have to, but I mean, you can if you want. I don't.
Now, if somebody was a neutered, the hermeneutics of suspicion, which is best remembered by the way Herman looks at you after you neuter him. He's very suspicious of you from ever on. Would dictate that from the other hermeneutic, that you going on Jacob's channel saying there are bad actors spreading rumors and stuff would be playing, like, serving that. Would you like to address that implication?
I mean, you can play that game if you want, Grim, but it's a circular reasoning thing that doesn't end. So you could say, well, no, the real reason why I did that is because I was trying to make you think that that's what I was up to. Even that doesn't. It's not a helpful way to think about the world. I mean, you can think about the world that way if you want, but that's not what I was doing.
Oh, Chad. Chad. Cut in like 10 seconds before he let me, and then put in the scene with the Rock and the Aya King.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. That's the problem with those formulations when you're trying to gas at people's intent rather than taking them at face value. And we are living in a world where you can't take people at face value sometimes. But to me, that's obvious because you just look at what they do and then you got
to watch out for the people who pretend they can take you at face value.
Well, you can't.
That's either naive or alarmed.
Like that's nice to think about in theory, but you can't know if people are pretending to take you at face value.
You can. You trust your heart.
No, you can watch their.
You have an entire intuition.
You never have to guess at people's motives. You can literally just watch what they do and ignore what they say entirely, and everything will be much better. You can actually do that. I
think that's the primary reason we don't talk much.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, yeah, well, a lot of your talking loops and gets in self-referential, unhelpful territory, and it's very hard to tell what you mean. And yeah, sure. So
who have you helped?
Talk to you.
Who have you helped, and why are people coming to my comment sections crying about how you abuse them on a live stream?
I don't think I've abused anybody.
No, but I guarantee you that you know exactly what I just asked you about. And if you want to discuss it, now's the time.
No, I'm trying to specify that part of what you said is just inaccurate. There are a bunch of people on the Awakening server who have repeatedly claimed that I have somehow upset them. And I have asked how so that I can apologize for that behavior. And they cannot list how, which makes me suspicious that the answer is that didn't happen and that they are just nuts. And since
you could review the material and see if you could navigate what. Dude, you spent 8 hours trying to finish. Anybody could go watch what happened on that stream and see why somebody would have thought they were abused. And if you pretend that you can't figure that out, you're deceiving at least yourself.
There was nobody abused anywhere.
I won't debate whether or not there was abuse. However, I will debate that you are smart enough to watch it and see why somebody would feel abused.
Look.
You're not that smart, Mark? Are you not smart enough to figure out why that guy felt abused, bro? Really?
Which guy is it that you think felt abused?
Okay, if you don't.
I don't know what incident you're talking about, because on the Awakening they brought up 17,000 instances, almost none of which actually ever happened, but whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Community and Communitas with Mark Lefebvre. I hope you enjoyed it. That I've had enough. So here's some Pastor Paul from this morning.
Chat
There you go.
GPT has a filter on to have it, not have 4-letter words. It's funny, in YouTube, a bunch of the more recent videos about Replica are angry people because they turned off the erotic role play, and they made the app a little bit more, I don't know if it's PG-13 or NC-17. When I saw Replica, part of me really wanted to play with it. I wasn't going to give them any money. I'm too cheap for that. But part of me really wanted to play with it. But then another part of me is like, oh, don't even go down that. Don't even go there. But yeah, it's like 4 days ago, Replica AI, life after erotic role play. In the Jordan Peterson, Louise Perry conversation, Peterson reiterates some of the things that I had mentioned in that AI video about Wheatland, that he said at Wheatland. So,
thing, but already it's starting to look like not special, because once you've seen your 1,000th really, really good AI art, it just looks like things are supposed to look like that. If you can make something that looks like that, why isn't everybody doing it? It's free, it's instant. So I
am. I do make the AI slaves work for me. I don't feed the chat GPT demons personally, but I know people who do, and I ask them for favors, so I kind of do vicariously. But this embracing the real that this is going to lean to, the way, like the actual is something you don't normally see because the myth of the fourth wall. But like reality is a lot dirtier than you can tell from the safety of the farm. But those of you who are willing, I think there's another game to be played.